All right, straight up 7:30 with Big Poppa and Banna on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. George Lopez. George, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Big Poppa.
How are you? Everything good?
Great. I'm good. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm good.
Well, number one, thank you for getting up so early because, like, it's the road stuff and whatever. Like, are you normally like an early bird or no?
When I was growing up, my grandparents raised me, and they used to get up early, 5:15, be out of the house by 6:30. And fortunately for me, they didn't care how loud they played the radio or where they walked or how many doors they slammed at that particular hour in the morning. So I've always been able to get up early.
Nice, very good. All right, so tell me about Spare Parts opening tomorrow. This thing looks amazing.
Spare Parts, thank you very much. Spare Parts is this movie based on a true story that happened in 2004. These 4 high school students with very little money and very little support created, they were kind of misfits, and sometimes the smartest kids are the ones that feel like they don't fit in or people treat them a little bit different because they're smart. But these kids created a robotics club in their high school, and with their teacher's support, they created this robot that cost under $800 because they didn't have a lot of money. And then they decided to enter a competition in Santa Barbara. And they said, why don't we enter against colleges? Because if we beat one college, we can say we beat one college, but to lose to high schools would hurt, And they enter this college, and the robot performs really well. And then through the oral exams and through talking to all 4 of the kids, they only had a team of 4. They won the competition. Nobody expected these kids to do much. And they beat Harvard, Duke, Yale,
oh my gosh,
Florida State,
awesome.
Stanford, and MIT.
Wow,
that is awesome.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, how did you get turned on to the story? Did somebody come to you with the project, or did you hear about the story ahead of time and kind of feed into it? How did this come about?
Well, in 2008, I have a deal with Lionsgate, and then they partnered with Pantaleon, and just over the last 3 years, and this script was out there. And my company bought it. They said, hey, we'd like to do this movie. They rewrote it a couple of times to get it closer to the actual events that happened. And when they did that, it got really good, and it became a script that everybody was talking about. And they decided that they said, hey, if you play the teacher, we have a chance to get the money to make this movie. And it's a little bit more dramatic than I think than anybody's ever seen me act before. But, I got Jamie Lee Curtis to be in the movie, and then Marissa Tomei is in the movie, and one kid, Carlos Penavega from Big Time Rush. And it is actually a movie that is small, but it's playing big, and people really seem to be liking it.
Anything, and this is just me, George, anything that is based on a true story, I'm automatically, drawn in even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, this stuff can still happen, and having those feel-good kind of stories and against the odd kind of stories are just fantastic.
Yeah, thank you for that. I've always enjoyed movies that, Brian's song when I was in junior high.
Yep.
That all the guys cried, and the girls are like, why are you guys crying about a movie about football? So, yeah, this one I'm happy to say is going to draw a little bit of tears and some laughs, and it's good. Through social media, you see people say, like, I'm going to take my kids, or my kids are going to take me to the movies. And that doesn't always happen. And sometimes those movies don't play very well. The parents go just because the kids want to go. But this is a movie that all the kids and parents will enjoy.
Absolutely. It's called Spare Parts. It opens tomorrow in theaters nationwide. We're talking to George Lopez on the Lennon's Jewelers Hotline. And, of course, talking about social media, you can follow him on Twitter, @George Lopez. All right, let's be honest here. Do you do the Twittering yourself, or do you have people do the Twitter?
I have a guy that does the social media, but I actually do most of it. I do probably 90% of the social media.
No kidding. Now, how long did it take someone to show you how to do it? Because my mom's VCR is still flashing 12, and yes, she still has a VCR.
I've been working on it since 2009. And at first, those guys would say, "Hey, you got to post a little video of yourself during the day." I'm like, man, nobody cares about what I'm doing during the day. Apparently, through social media, they all do care about what I'm doing during the day.
Dude, it's incredible how much people love that peek behind the curtain.
I have over 2 million followers. There's, my grandmother was very strict with me and very rude to me. Didn't always say the nicest things to me. She passed away in 2009, and whenever I miss her, I just kind of scroll my social media. Whenever I'm feeling too good about myself, there'll be some in there that'll remind me of my grandmother.
George Lopez on the Lennon's Jewelers hotline. Spare Parts in the theaters tomorrow. Now, obviously, you came up doing stand up, and of course, everyone knows the George Lopez show,
which is really awesome.
And of course, movies. You do a lot of voice stuff. People may or may not realize you've done voices for a ton of animated flicks as well. What is your favorite, or is it the combination of all of them?
I would say that the animation stuff. I've been lucky enough to be in some pretty big movies. I was in The Smurfs and Rio. I did Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Those three. But I still love stand-up. Stand-up is the only place in my career that I'm able to do what I want to do. Not that I'm ever pushing the envelope or crossing the line, but it is the most freeing part. When I did the talk show. Every day they would say, don't do this, don't do that.
Right.
This is this, and this is that. You have somebody judging your material who's never actually sold a ticket for anybody to come and see them, but apparently they end up being experts on comedy.
Oh, of course.
But it is the freest form of expression that I have, and the thing I still enjoy the most.
Well, number one, we got to get you upstate.
Yes.
Because George Lopez we need some George Lopez loving up in here.
No, thank you. George Lopez needs some loving.
And of course, Spare Parts is opening tomorrow. Talk to me about the Lopez Foundation. And I mean, you are very you do a lot of charity stuff.
I do a lot of charity stuff. Growing up, I didn't see my grandmother. My grandmother would always give to the March of Dimes and the Salvation Army when we would leave the grocery store, and I think there's a little bit of that, but. When you achieve some success that you never expect, I just think that it's unfortunate, or it's kind of not even human to turn your back on people who hurt or who are sick or who need some help. So I've always supported the military with my foundation. But also, since I had a transplant, April will be 10 years.
Wow.
I try to help kids who are sick and raise awareness of kidney disease, but also just wellness in general. Because we might not always be our best friends when it comes to our own health, but I always try to help kids who are sick and raise awareness of kind of living a healthier life.
I'll tell you what, George Lopez, class act.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Spare Parts in theaters tomorrow. George Lopez on the Lennon's Jewelers hotline. Before you go, my friend, this is the Quick Six. It's 6 questions, 60 seconds. Let's everyone get to know a little bit more about you. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 2 shows on your DVR right now.
The Sopranos and Ray Donovan.
Okay, favorite toy as a child?
I had a Cox airplane that had fuel that you could turn it on and fly it around the neighborhood.
That's awesome.
Nice. You're driving around and you're on a road trip. You stop at the convenience store. What are your go-to snacks?
I would get a butter toffee peanuts and Hershey's with almond.
Okay, so you're out at a bar. What is your favorite drink of choice?
A Silver Patron margarita on the rocks with salt, or a double kettle with a lime or lemon peel.
That's what's up. Favorite body part of the opposite sex?
Ooh.
Anything in the front upper region.
Oh, that's good. Favorite toy as an adult?
Favorite toy as an adult? My golf clubs.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Spare Parts in theaters tomorrow. George Lopez on the Lennon's Jewelers hotline. Thank you so much for the time. Congratulations, and we got to have you back on, all right?
Thank you, guys. Yes, please. So much fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. George Lopez, everybody. Here's Fifth Harmony on KISS FM.